This is my 1972 280 SE 4.5 that I pulled out of 15 years of storage, brought it up from Seattle, and yesterday we went to town on it. I have to say it was great fun. The three of us took about 4 hours. We completely rebuilt the fuel injection system in the engine compartment, put some new gas in it, and it fired right up and we drove it away. Now, I didn't drive it very far because there's some other things we need to look at here and attend to. If you haven't seen that video, I'll put a link in the description below and check it out. But today, I want to focus on making this into a quick driver. I want to get it out on the road. I want to drive it. I want to make sure that it's the car I want to restore because it has a lot of cosmetic things that I can do to it to make it mint, should I say. But I really don't want to do that if there's something major wrong with the mechanicals. We determined yesterday, I think the engine is healthy. It's got a solid engine and the transmission shifting. We brought it into the shop last night and there's three things we're going to have to attend to before we can hit the road. Number one, we have an issue up at the engine compartment with a coolant hose that is about ready to burst. Number two, the brakes are dragging on two wheels. You know, we pulled off, looks like calipers and pads. The hoses have been changed, you know, probably 15 years ago. But we've got a couple calipers that are sticking, and I don't want to go ripping down the road until we solve that issue. And then finally, you know, we've got some wetness back here in the back at the fuel pump. That is so typical on these old Digetronic fuel-injected cars. They have those old original pumps, and they leak fuel, and that is a fire hazard. So that's what I'm going to tackle first today. I'm going to bring out the kit that I offer as a replacement for the original, explain why, and then we're going to replace that before we tackle those other two issues. I still haven't chosen a name for this 4.5. My friend said, why don't we call it Piddles? You've already seen what I've had to do up in the engine compartment. Look here, we got some piddling going on back here. More piddling. Look at the, you know, the mounts are broken. But this is the problem right here, and this is true of 90% of the Digetronic original fuel pumps. They leak. There are internal seals, and these are very hard to rebuild. And this leak will continue until it gets real bad. Not only do we have to do with this piddling, but we'd have some major piddling here. I want to grab this and rip it, and you'd be shocked, but I got too much fuel in the tank. So look at this braided hose. Look at this braided hose up here. So this whole fuel delivery system has to be changed out before we ever hit the road with this car. This is the original fuel delivery system I just pulled off the 4.5. And you can see that the pump is very wet. And you look at this and you realize it's been leaking for quite a while from all this staining. Over here is the complete kit I offer to replace this. Now, if you notice, filter is the same, but there's a lot of other components involved in my kit in order to get a reliable fuel delivery system mounted on your old 1970 to 1975 Digetronic Mercedes. And that includes both the 450 SLs, the 350 SLs, the SELs, even the 108 like the 4.5 you see behind me. Now, I think I'm going to start out by taking a real close look at this and show you what's involved. And then I'll come back and we'll talk about the replacement kit. This mounts up under the car like this, and there are rubber shock mounts, and you saw that those were broken. Fuel enters the pump here from the fuel tank, exits the pump over here, goes up into the filter, and then this hose exits the filter and goes to the hard line, which goes up to the engine compartment. If you notice, there's no accumulator on these early Digetronic fuel delivery systems. You can see the filter from my kit is the original type Bosch filter. It's exactly the same as this one. And this fitting here should be able to go right into the end of this filter. If your system is all messed up and you don't have this fitting, I do have replacements for this on my website. So you can see the filter is going to be an easy mount. Now the pump is a different style pump, but it's pretty much going to go in the same way. It's going to mount right in here like this. And you see that the inlet hose diameter is the same, so it's going to get a brand new hose, which is included in my kit, coming from the fuel tank right into here. This will go into this strap with no modification. And here's where the challenge comes in. How do you get this type of pump outlet with a check valve from here up into the filter? And that's where I have in my kit hoses. We have to include other fittings, other clamps, things that will allow you to hook this up and go into the filter here. Now, I need to warn you, some of you are going to see this and say, oh, that's just a regular pump from a Mercedes K-Jetronic fuel injection system. It's not. Look at the difference. This is the K-Jet pump. This is for a different vehicle. It's not Mercedes. But this will not work. It's too high a pressure. Not only does the inlet not work, because look at this difference in the size of the inlet. This is the proper inlet for the hose that's coming from the tank. This is too big. The pump puts out way too much pressure, and you're going to have problems getting your D-Jetronic to run right if you think you can just put a K-Jetronic fuel pump on the system. Here you can see I removed the old components, a couple screws, you loosen those up, and I installed the new filter, the new pump. Notice I didn't even have to paint the bracket. Maybe that's a little bit of original CAD plating faded, but normally these are all rust. You're going to have to paint the bracket assembly. A couple things you want to do when you get ready to install this back in the car. I'm not going to go over every single step because that's all included in the lengthy video instructions that come in the kit. But a couple things here, you want to leave the screws loose so you can move the filter. This fitting will not rotate, see? So the way you line that fitting up is to rotate the filter. This banjo fitting down here will rotate. So I leave this loose, and then I can slide the pump in or out, and I can slide the filter in or out, depending upon where I want to position these when I trial fit it on the car. I'll put it right about here so that this is straight, okay? And you don't want any big kinks. That's why I include this wire, is to keep this from chafing and also to keep it from collapsing. Next, I'm going to go under the car and replace those two smaller 8mm fuel hoses and the rubber mounts. This should make you a believer on why you want to pay attention to this particular job when you pick up one of these old Mercedes. All those braided fuel hoses rotten, a couple of them just ripped apart. So that's why you want to do this. It's not just the fuel pump and filter. I've installed both of the smaller rubber hoses. One is a return hose that goes back into the tank there, and the other is the feed hose that will come from the filter outlet, and I just left that long for the time being. And I installed the 3 rubber shock mounts. With the shroud installed, and I have to tell you this was something I had stashed away in my 108 stock because I didn't want to have to reuse this one. You can see by looking at that, this car hasn't run in a while. Don't ask me how all those needles got in the bottom of that fuel pump shroud. Okay, we're going to trial fit this now to make sure the hoses will clear. And this is the way it's going to go up in there. This is our concern right here, to make sure that it's not hit the back of the shroud. So we'll set this in. Okay. That looks pretty good. You see why I got the wire there, just in case it is rubbing up against. But here you can see this hose will go into here, and then we'll put the new hose from the tank over the pump. So that looks pretty good. I think I can go ahead and tighten up the clamps and get this mounted up in there. The overhaul of this fuel delivery system of the 4.5 is complete. We've got all new hoses, all new clamps, new shock mounts, new pump, new filter, And look at how much nicer this is. See, it's got the shock mount, but it's not rattling and banging around in there. So this is done. Now I can move forward and deal with that other problem in the engine compartment.